From Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, we welcome you to American Legion Baseball here on RFM. Great to have you along with us tonight on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross in downtown Worcester tonight as we bring you another edition of American Legion Baseball here on RFM in partnership with Leominster Post 151. Alongside Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, Todd Robbins for RFM tonight, and great to have you joining us here at a beautiful night at the ballpark. And we've got a dandy of a matchup for you, a fantastic rivalry of 190 as they are billing it here tonight. Two high schools that hotly compete with each other every time these two communities come together. It creates a fantastic battle. No difference here tonight as Post 151 travels on the road to take on Post 397. It's Leominster's Post 151 and Shrewsbury's Post 397. Leominster comes in with an overall record of 12-4. They are 8-2 specifically in their Zone 4 division. Good enough for tops in their section of the division. Shrewsbury's on the other side of the Zone 4 division. They are 8-7 overall, 4-3 in their division, and they find themselves in the middle of the pack. We'll get you the starting lineups. First pitch coming up, but I welcome in my broadcast partners. First, Bill Thomas joining me here tonight. And Billy, here we go. First of all, big ballpark, big night, great opportunity for these student athletes.
Yeah, a great opportunity for the student athletes, and for us too to show our trade here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. We're talking about a Shrewsbury Legion team that shines year in and year out. World Series Final Four participants in the recent past, last year, I think. And
yes, they were.
Expecting a whale of a ball game. They got a very talented roster. Up and down the roster experience, college experience, World Series experience. And I'm expecting a great ball game tonight. But, we got Angel Byers on the mound for the Leominster Post. And we're pretty familiar with Angel's work on the mound.
It's a streaming night of broadcasting. That means it must be an Angel Baez game, as it seemed like the way this calendar year has gone for sure. Here's the Post 151 lineup as we get closer to first pitch. Jake Richard joins the Leominster lineup. He'll bat leadoff, play first base. Ashton Malzahn plays right field, bats second. Cam Marshall bats out of the three-hole, plays center field. Tom Rupp is the DH, will bat cleanup as we are set for first pitch. Ryan Walton comes with a breaking ball over the heart of the plate. Called strike one. And we're underway right on time, 6:30 p.m. here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. Continuing with the 151 lineup as the 0-1 comes in. Breaking ball misses the outside corner, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Mariani does the catching. He'll bat fifth. Dylan Adamson is the left fielder. He bats sixth. Tony Savatelli plays third base, bats seventh. And Dan Wright, the second baseman, will bat eighth. The 9-hole occupied by Alex Aquendo in a double leadoff situation, and he will play short. Richard takes the 1-2 on the ground toward the second baseman. Rails back, up with it, and on to first in time. And it's a 4-3 putout for out number 1.
Nice routine play to get the game started there for the Shrewsbury defense. Two hopper to the second baseman. You always want to get off on the right foot. Nice easy out. Try to cruise through this first inning. 7 innings of baseball here tonight.
That brings Ashton Malzahn to the plate. Breaking ball misses the outside corner. And the count, 1 ball and 1 strike to Malzahn. 1-1 called, strike over the heart of the plate, and the count is 1-2. Working quickly is Walton. He brings his 1-2. Cut on and missed. It's in the dirt. The 2-3 to wrap up that strikeout. And it's a swinging strikeout to retire Malzahn. And quickly 2 away here in the top of the first.
You would think Ryan Walton's working with a pitch clock. He gets that ball back, and he's ready to go. I think he's got dinner reservations somewhere in the city tonight because he's ready to huck it up there. He's throwing strikes.
And Cam Marshall sees another tuber for a strike. Count is 0-1. The 0-1 swinging sends that one just off of the right field and into the seats. The 0-2 pitch from Walton to Marshall. 59-footer, not good enough. That'll be a ball. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Beautiful night for a ball game here tonight in the heart of the city. overlooking 290 over behind left field. Football field off to our right.
1-2, and Marshall goes with it over the second baseman Railsback and into right center field. Quickly rounding first, into second. There is a play, but not in time, and it's a double for Cam Marshall to keep the inning alive and create a little spark for 151.
Not only a double, a hustle double right there. Never slowed down rounding first base. Had the green light, head down. Nice little gap shot. Right field did a nice job getting over there, covering the gap, but they couldn't get it in quite quick enough.
Third member of the broadcast team, Kate Robbins. And Kate, great to have you along with us here tonight in the ballpark. And how about that, stretching that into a double on the same side of the field?
Pure hustle.
You like to see that out of these kids. You know, these kids are next level, a lot of them, and playing for a future, too.
Breaking ball from Walton for a called strike to Tom Rupp, the designated hitter, and the count is 0-1.
You know, you like to think, you never know who's watching, and a little bit of hustle might open somebody's eyes. And I know when I was involved with the FCBL back in the 13 to 16
Pickoff
series,
attempt down to second, sneaking in the back door was Railsback. He got the tag on Marshall, and it is not in time on the long-distance pick attempt.
Yeah, nice try there. Strong throw by the catcher, but I like to think you never know who's watching. You know, a scout shows up to watch somebody and somebody else catches their eye, and these kids always have that in the back of their head.
Walton out of the stretch, the 1-1. Breaking ball misses the outside. Count 2 balls and a strike. Rupp is from the Winchington School. He's on his way to Limestone. Just graduating from Winchington. He's going to study physical therapy. He'll go with this one, lifting it towards center field. Benenstadt on the run. It one-hops him around third and bumped, but in to score safely is Marshall. And Leominster is on the board with a little 2-out base running, turning into run production.
Nice job by Rupp there. 2-out single up middle of the field, and good hustle. And that hustle double turned into a run right away.
And Kate, this is what we didn't see in the opening ball game of the season from 151, and they have started to put together, and that is timely hitting combined with good base running.
Well, not only that, first appearance at the plate, jumping on the first good pitch that they're seeing. We haven't seen, again, it was their first game of the season, hadn't seen run production early in the game. It took a while for things to develop. So as a coaching staff, what you want to see is you want to see your hitters getting right on the starting pitcher, not waiting, getting a run, producing early. Again, at top of the order. Again, those first 4 to 5 batters doing what it is that they do best.
Mariani chases that one outside. He's in the hole 0-2, 2 outs here. Rupp leads off a first. The 0-2 breaking ball cut on and missed. Inning over, but not before Post 151 opens the bank. They've got themselves a first run of the ball game. It was a 2-out double from Cam Marshall, who eventually comes around and scores on Rupp's RBI single and through 1/2 inning. Here at Fitton Field on the campus of Holy Cross, it's Post 151-1, Post 397 coming up. What a night here at the ballpark. Great crowd still filing in here. And, of course, a lot of credit goes to the folks here with the Worcester Bravehearts of Bill Thomas already name-checked it, the FCBL, hosting this tonight. This is typically where Shrewsbury's Post 397 plays their home games. But tonight, a featured game. They are running it with all of the Bravehearts promotional stuff to go along with it, the music, the PA, all of those things, giving it that big ballpark feel.
Yeah, and I think that the players are really going to buy into this. You know, just the fanfare and the, you know, bring the family out and give them a nice, comfortable spot to watch the game. Not that, you know, Shrewsbury plays their games here, but, you know, just a different setting, a level-up setting is what I would say.
No question about that. Here is Coach Frank Vaccaro's Post 397 lineup, which is hot off the presses. It's fair to say some injuries affecting that lineup tonight, but here is their game plan. James Benenstadt will play center field, and he is batting leadoff. Jimmy Railsback, second baseman, bats out of the 2-hole. The shortstop is Jimmy Mitchell, batting third. Teddy Cove plays first base, bats fourth. Brady Collins plays left field, bats fifth. Colby Coughlin plays third base, will bat in the 6-hole. Pat McManus does the catching, bats seventh. Deegan Miller is the designated hitter, he'll bat eighth. And Drew Paris plays right field and bats ninth. Ryan Walton in that 10-hole. for post 397. For Leominster's post 151, around the defensive alignment, left to right in the outfield, it's Adamson, Marshall, and Malzahn. First to third in the infield, Richard, Wright, Aquendo, and Savatelli. And Mariani does the catching for post 151 starter Angel Baez, who Kate Bill Thomas said it moments ago, we're quite familiar with this season.
Yeah, it feels like every single time we have a broadcast, we see Angel on the mound. It's like he knows.
It's a good night to come out. It's the night it's streaming here on RFM. Great to have you along with us, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Like, follow, and subscribe when the action goes live. It finds you on your social media device of choice. Mariani with a last word for Baez and heads to the plate. And Bill Thomas, Baez is used to pitching with limited run support. Leominster had a phenomenal year on the high school end of things, but struggled in the run support department, particularly early in the season for their ace. So he's used to making one run stand up throughout the night.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if the offense didn't take the night off on occasion.
First pitch swinging, Bendestad hits that, a chopper on the ground. Savatelli plays it at third base on the grass, across to Richard at first, and it's a 5-3 putout, and that's a confidence builder for Savatelli, Kate, who struggled with the glove throughout this campaign.
Well, I mean, and to say the word struggle, I think, is a little bit heavy-handed. It seems as if usually that first play, when he has that first opportunity to make a defensive play, sometimes things can be a little bit scattered. There could be a bobble here and there, etc. Nice to see him get out of the chute right away, first inning, bam, make a good, solid defensive play. Move on.
Here comes Baez with the 1-0 offering to Railsback. Down the middle for the called strike, and the count levels 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, spot on, Kate, your observation there. Nice 2-hopper to the second baseman to start Shrewsbury off defensively. And same on the Leominster side here. Get a nice, easy 2-hopper with that first out of the inning.
Baez gets the second strike on Railsback, and it's a 1 ball, 2 strike count. Here's the 1-2. Breaking ball cut on and missed. 2 away here in the bottom of the first. Already the 1-0 lead for post 151. That brings Jimmy Mitchell, the shortstop, to the plate. Mitchell is the shortstop for St. John's. He's a member of last year's World Series team. He had 2 home runs in back-to-back at-bats earlier this year against North County and was a Catholic Conference All-Star for St. John's this year on the high school end of things. He's a first pitch ball.
That cannot be easy to make the Catholic Conference All-Stars in any of the dominant sports.
Hit on the ground, back up the box and into center field. Marshall will play it into the cutoff, and it's a 2-out single looking
it's as if he knew
familiar.
we were talking about him.
Indeed. Looked a lot like the top half of the inning as well. And that brings Teddy Cove to the plate.
Have to see if Baez can shut this little mini rally down here with 2 outs and keep that 0 on the scoreboard after taking that early lead in the top half of the first.
Cove just finished up his senior year at St. John's. Sees a first pitch strike, and the count goes 0-1. He's on his way to be a Lancer at Worcester State next year, and coaching staff says he's an excellent team player.
Wonder if they hit 3-4 in high school.
Snap throw and not in time, and Kate's reaction says it all. Baez, one of his specialties, that fast move to pick off runners.
He is quick to first, and we've seen him pick off a number of runners in the appearances that we've had him.
Bill Thomas, I'm so slow, I'd literally just be like,
hit and run is on and outside the glove of Tony Savatelli and into left field, and it's another 2-out single.
Nice job right there, moving the base runner, but didn't really matter. Nice hard hit ball to the left of Savatelli there down at third base, just out of his reach.
Mitchell advances to second, so you've got Mitchell at second, Cove at first, and 2 outs here in the bottom half of the first inning, and post 397 chasing 1. That brings Brady Collins, the left fielder, to the plate. Collins, a first year playing for post 397. He played at St. John's. He's on his way to Bentley to play baseball next year, a Division II power in the Northeast 10. Breaking ball missed from Baez, and the count's 1-0.
A lot of talent on this Shrewsbury roster.
Indeed there is. Which, of course, makes that 8-7 record all that much more difficult to believe. Here's the 1-0. Knee-high strike count, 1 ball and 1 strike.
You know, but you talk about injuries, all it takes is a couple of key injuries at, certain parts of the season. You just can't fill all the gaps. You got to maintain a certain level, and hopefully you can rise back up and playoff time comes around.
Baez out of the stretch, the 1-1. Cut on and missed as he took that one up the ladder. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes, and Kate Bill Thomas just checked another one of those important pieces, and that is summer ball.
Yep.
This is every bit a summer situation, and so you've got players coming in and out with vacations, and the coaching staffs just have to deal with setting a lineup as it goes. As the 1-2 breaking ball fouled off of Collins, everyone will stay put. We'll try another 1-2 pitch, and that's one of the challenges of coaching at this level in the summertime. It's a bit of a transient population. Some people are here, some people are injured, some coaches only want to see their players on the field a certain amount of time. You've got to juggle all of that as a coach at the Legion level.
Well, normally you think about people who like to do puzzles as a winter activity, but if you want to do puzzles and you like to coach baseball, then this is your gig. Summer ball for baseball. What do you?
That's a great
like
line. That's credit for that. 1-2 also fouled off. Again, we'll try a third 1-2 pitch.
And so as you said, the puzzle pieces, they are a many. It's like it's a full 1,000 piecer.
Some kids even working, trying to make a few bucks and.
Byers checks the lead runner. Breaking ball misses the outer half, and the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Summer can be challenging, that's for sure.
And so Baez will retoe the rubber. Cove at first, Mitchell at second, 2 outs here on a 2-2 count on Collins at the plate. The pitch. Breaking ball missed low. The steal attempt. It's a double steal successfully through the glove of Savatelli. Aquendo with the backup keeps the ball on the infield. And it's 2 runners in scoring positions with 2 outs and a full count. Says it all. An interesting situation that develops here.
As a catcher, you have an incredibly large looming presence in that right-handed batter's box. So makes sense that that double steal moves and works in that situation. The catcher has to go around that batter in the batter's box because they can stay right in that batter's box.
That's right.
They
Hold
own
their
it.
spot.
So as a catcher, you have to go around, and the batter is a looming presence there. And so if you have speed on the bases, which Shrewsbury does, then it certainly makes sense that they take advantage of it.
A second payoff pitch gets fouled to the screen, and we'll try a third in what is proving to be an extended at-bat for Brady Collins, who's got some significant size, Kate, in that batter's box you pointed to. He offers a big strike zone and swings a mighty stick.
They're all tall to me.
Another 3-2 pitch, pulls this one down the left field line and well foul toward 290.
Just a long strike.
10 pitch at bat though here for Collins. Making Baez work for this out number 3. Couple of base runners out there, looming large.
Runners on second and third, 2 outs. A fourth payoff pitch. Missed the outside corner, and on the 11th pitch in the at-bat, it's a walk for Collins, and the bases are loaded with 2 outs.
So I get a text message from my good friend Peter wondering about today's game. I'm wondering if there's a relation here.
There entirely might be. And a St. John's relationship on
Pedro
top of
didn't
it.
even tell me.
6 degrees of separation.
Just like, why is he asking about a Legion game? Now I know.
Brings Colby Coughlin to the plate with the bases loaded and 2 outs here in the bottom of the first. Swung on and missed at the first offering from Baez, and the count is 0-1.
The more you know. Bases juice, though, 2 outs.
Not covered in the notes, by the way, in case you were wondering.
I'll take care of it. Don't worry about it.
Baez back to the full windup. Here comes the 0-1. Outer half missed. Mariani seemed a little surprised, and the count's level 1 ball and 1
I put
strike.
it down as a strike. I thought it looked like a strike. I'll mark it down.
From our press box broadcast position high above the Loge seating section here at Fitton Field. 1-2 pitch. Aquendo with this one hit on the ground. Fields it. His momentum takes him to second, and he will leg that one out for a 6 unassisted to end the inning and the threat. Baez able to settle down, induce the ground ball, and get out of trouble. So it's no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and strand 3 through 1 complete. Here on RFM, it is Leominster 1 and Shrewsbury nothing. We go to the top of the second inning, 6-7-8 for post 151. Adamson, Savatelli right, due up as we go to the second. A break and we're back with more. This is American Legion Baseball right here on RFM. To the top of the second inning we go. First pitch called strike to Dylan Adamson of post 151.
That whole story. All I said was it was nice to see the highway and the two of you
And
go.
away we
Tangent.
go. Yes.
Tangent.
Sometimes the off-air show might be more interesting than the on-air show, as the 0-1 misses and the count's 1 ball and 1 strike to Adamson.
Great history at the field, reminiscent about the FCBL, which is the Future Collegiate Baseball League, which I had a 4-year tie with as the public address announcer for the Wachusett Dirt Dogs. Loved every minute of it.
Here's the 2-1 from Walton. Over the heart of the plate, a miss. Had to have missed down low. Count
Clearly it wasn't over the heart of the plate, Todd.
3 balls and a strike.
From our press box position.
That's right.
Above the luge.
3-1, fouled wide, and a nice play by Coach Didion outside of third base in the box.
That was a little...
Played the bounce, a little defensive on the bounce, but he played it nonetheless.
That's not how you teach.
You don't do the Olay?
3-2 pitch, breaking ball, waved at, and it's out number 1.
It is not how one teaches.
You don't
defense.
side whale it, you get in front of it, right?
That was a little shaky.
Get in front of it.
That was a little shaky.
1 out here in the top of the second brings Tony Savatelli to the plate. Savatelli had his familiar third base position tonight after doing some catching in the first broadcast we had back on opening
This
day.
is not his real walk-up music.
A recent graduate of Leominster High School and on his way to Assumption here in the city of Worcester. First pitch swinging, backhand by Mitchell. Long throw from the 5-6 hole across the diamond, and he's got Savatelli by 2 steps. Great throw by Mitchell.
Absolutely. Not only a great throw, did you see how smooth he was to that backhand? That glove was down the whole time. That was absolutely textbook, nice range, going to the backhand. Loved it.
That's a Catholic Conference
Loved
All-Star.
it.
2 outs here, top of the second. Dan Wright, the second baseman at the plate, and the breaking ball called strike. Count 0-1.
You know, to emphasize your point, Kate, no rush either. I mean, took
None.
the time to pivot, and threw a strike over to first base.
The 0-1 misses, 1 ball and 1 strike. Wright graduated 1 year ago from Lunenburg High School. The 1-1 misses down, and the count 2 balls and a strike. Currently a Lancer at Worcester State studying business right here in the city of Worcester. Here comes the 2-1 from Walton. Little hot foot there, steps out of the way. Count 3 balls and a strike.
Wear it. Sorry, what?
Tough to please up here.
I just said something complimentary about somebody else.
3-1 from Wright. This is a high hopper. Played on the run by Coughlin over his head. Crossed the diamond, a 5-3 putout. Ends the inning and the threat. 3 come to the plate, and it's a neat 3 up and 3 down inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. Through 1.5 here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, campus of the College of the Holy Cross. It's Leominster 1 and Shrewsbury nothing as we head to the bottom of the second inning. Post 397, 7-8-9, due up McManus, Miller, and Paris. A break and we're back with more. You're streaming this one. It's American Legion Baseball right here on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch, and only on RFM. Bottom of the second inning, post 397, starts off with Pat McManus, the catcher, and he sees a first pitch from Baez, a ball. It's McManus, Miller, and Paris due up in the inning.
Well, we saw Walton have a nice shutdown second inning there after he struggled in the first. We'll have to see if Baez can come out. Didn't give up any runs, but threw over 20 pitches in that first inning. Got out a little quick inning.
Got out of a bases-loaded jam.
Absolutely. Now induces a 2-0 ground ball. Savatelli surrounds that one. Over to Richard at first. 4 and out. Out number 1, McManus just retired. Tenzin plays at Assumption. He was the team's primary catcher last year during the World Series run here for Post 397 and back behind the plate. Tonight,
Shrewsbury World Series semifinalist last year at the Legion level.
and have attended that tournament, Bill Thomas, representing Zone 4 3 of the last 6 years. As Baez comes with his first pitch to Miller and misses.
One of those,
No,
I believe,
strike.
was a no year
Oh,
because
thank you.
of
Count
COVID.
0-1.
So, I mean, yeah, just year in and year out, spectacular talent.
0-1. Miller hits this one on the ground. Right ranges to his right and boots that one over toward Aquendo. It's going to be an E4, and Miller's got himself on. Miller wearing jersey number 15, listed as 22 in your programs, but wearing jersey number 15 tonight.
Nice job right there. Attempt by the second baseman. Slowed down a little bit by Baez. Just second baseman couldn't come up with it there. And not
That's
sure.
a big lead. Baez is going to
I'm
want
not sure that would have resulted in an out there. Kind of a little tough on the error.
First pitch swinging sends this one into right field as Paris goes with the ball on the outside. Malzahn up with it into the cutoff. Station to station go the runners, and Miller's down to second. And it's 2 on with 1 out.
And Bill Thomas, one of the things already in the early going that I've seen offensively from Shrewsbury, they are going with whatever Baez gives them. If it's on the outside, they're sending it to that opposite field. If he's coming inside, they're pulling it. They're not interested at this point in anything other than solid contact for base hits. They are moving base runners, and they are basically saying, okay, Baez, you're going to give me this, I'll take that. They are not trying to force anything. Really, really fine-tuned decision-making on offense. I really like it.
Benestat comes back as Post 397 goes back to the top of their order. He grounded out to Savatelli at third base back in the first. 2 on, 1 out, the 1-0 count in the pitch. Missed inside. Count goes to 2-0. Nice job by Benestat there, by the way. Just slipped that pitch on the inside. Kate would say wear it, but just slipped that one a little bit.
No, I mean, if you're there, I mean,
Leadoff batter wants to swing the stick.
Just don't dance.
Here comes the 2-0. That one too high as Mariani went up trying to bring it down on the frame, and the count now 3-0. 3 straight balls from Baez, laboring a little bit here in the bottom of the second.
You got that quick first out, but 2 quick base hits.
3-0. Tuber for a strike. Count 3 balls and a strike.
Get me over strike right there, taken all the way.
Base runners with generous leads. Aquendo checking in on the back pocket of Miller at second base. Baez does have a pickoff at second base this year. Here's the pitch. Cut on and missed by Benestat.
He's worked his way all the way back.
Indeed he has. Count now full with 1 out and 2 on. Clouds continue to roll in here as the lights are on at Fitton Field on the campus of Holy Cross. Baez from the stretch, the pitch. Line shot, deflected by Baez, fielded on the left glove by Wright, gets it to Richard at first. 4 and out. The lead runners advance to second and third respectively.
1 to 4 to 3 put up, but I think might have got to the second baseman on a line drive there. Could have had 2 if Angel didn't get his glove up there, but purely reactional. At least they got an out of it.
And a little deflection there, bit defensive was Baez, a little off balance. He does fade toward that side of the mound traditionally, which put him right in line with that ball coming off the bat. As Jimmy Railsback comes to the plate, a strikeout victim back in the first. Sees a first pitch ball, and the count is 1-0.
Once again, Shrewsbury with 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 outs. Second inning in a row.
1-0 pitch, ball misses high, count 2-0. Railsback attends Baylor University, where he plays club baseball. He was the starting second baseman on last year's World Series semifinalist team. Here's the 2-0.
Can you imagine?
Got that one.
Texas hot on the baseball diamond.
I was going to say, tonight I believe is not even close to Texas hot.
Not even close.
Had the privilege of officiating in Houston when there was a professional softball franchise there. Now, Texas hot? This is not. Cut on and miss there on the 2-1. And the count levels 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That's steamy.
That was not only breaking, Baez took a little off of that one as well. 2-2 the count to Railsback. Runners on second and third. 2 outs here. Bottom of the second, the pitch. Pop this one up toward right field. On his horse is Malzahn. It's over his head, and 1 run is in. It's Miller. Hot on his heels is Paris. That's 2. And trotting on into second. It's the 2 out, 2 RBI double for Railsback. And quickly Shrewsbury has the 2-1 lead.
Right fielder caught playing in a little too much. Didn't get a quick break on that. Ball just out of his reach over his glove.
This is a deep.
Well, Kate, that was actually where my question was going to go. How much does the bigger ballpark play into that sort of a situation for Malzahn as far as setting his distance?
Well, that right field is tricky because they got to make room down there for the football field end zone, so it juts in really sharp. But it can be deceiving, and it's still it's about 330 to the pole, but it goes out quick to about 360 very quickly, and yeah, got caught in a little too far.
Mitchell fouls that one off himself, levels the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. He singled and was stranded at third base back in the first. A 2-1 post 397 lead. And I mean, this inning has played just about the way you would want to. Maybe you'd like 1 less out in the process, but you are getting runners on, moving them with timely outs and effective hits, trading outs for runner positions, and then you get the double that you need to score 2 runs. It sort of makes this look academic.
And it does, and obviously they were biting at the heels of this type of an inning in the first, so not surprising that they were able to put a couple of things together. What is surprising is the offensive production against Baez.
1-1 breaking ball, and it's a line shot into the left center field gap, rounding third and into home is Railsback, and diving in safely with the RBI double is Mitchell, and all of a sudden it's 3-1 Shrewsbury.
Another hustle double in the gap right there. Never slowed down round at first. Both runners were going to score easily, but he wanted more than 1 out of that. Ended up with a 2 RBI double. Or 1 RBI double, I'm sorry.
3-1 Shrewsbury as we go to the cleanup spot. It's Teddy Cove, singled and stranded at second back in the first. Pitch from Baez, burns a fastball in there, count 0-1.
Well, this is the type of situation you would think of if Shrewsbury has represented the region 3 out of the last 6 years, you said, 4 out of the last 6 years, then it's no surprise then that they can produce.
Pulls this one, a leaping attempt by right, can't reel it in. That one into shallow right field. Malzahn's throw will not be in time, and round they go. Mitchell touches third and then home, and it's a 4-run inning and counting for post 397.
3 straight 2-out hits, producing those 4 runs.
Now the difficulty becomes if you are Coach Didion for 151, how long is the leash for Baez at this point? You're down by 3 now, and it's only the second inning, and he had to get out of a bases-loaded jam to end the first.
Pickoff attempt over at first. Safely back in there is Cove, and I think Baez just wanted to reset things as Brady Collins comes to the plate, walked and stranded back in the first.
Baez taking some deep breaths out there too, Todd and Kate. Surprised the pitching coach has him out there just to give him a little breather.
Got to settle himself here and battle back into this one.
Yeah, 7th batter of the inning here for Baez.
Sneaks a peek at Cove and chopped foul by Collins, and he's in the hole 0-2.
2-out magic here for Shrewsbury. He's giving them 4 runs. Good job by their offense. Like you said, Kate, just spraying the ball all over the field, putting the ball in play, gaps. Big hit over the right fielder's head.
Baez, the snap throw, and it's a pickoff at first. Angel Baez, true to form, lives up to his name, and he's got another pick, but what it does is stem the bleeding for the moment through 2 here at Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross. It's a 4-run inning for Shrewsbury. They take a 4-1 lead through 2 on the back of 2 doubles, 2 singles, timely RBIs in that inning as well. 4-1 Shrewsbury through 2.
How do these teams not know he's going to do it?
That's the question du jour.
No, they've seen it all spring. They know he's capable of doing it. He's done it all summer long. Why are we taking such big leads against Angel Bias? That's the question.
It's the question du jour. So it's 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, strand nobody in that one through 2. Post 397 4, Post 151 1. Great to have you along with us here on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch via RFM. And this great partnership between Leominster Post 151 and RFM to bring you American Legion Baseball here in Zone 4, Massachusetts in this 2023 campaign. We head to the top of the third when we continue. Post 151 goes 9 top in the top of the third. More in a moment. American Legion Baseball on RFM. Back to action we go here. Alex Oquendo at the plate. Big cut on the first pitch from Walton. Counts 0-1, and quickly Walton comes right back pitching machine style and sends that one by Oquendo, and he's in the hole 0-2. The 0-2 pitch misses inside. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Great to have you along with us. Here's the 1-2, popped up, heading back toward the press box. Short in the middle of the seating section here, and it'll be another 1-2 offering to Oquendo leading off the third. And Kate, if you're Ryan Walton pitching out here for Post 397, talk about various innings. You feel very different about being down 1 versus up 3 as this 1-2 pitch hit hot on the ground. Mitchell bobbles it out at short, and Oquendo legs it out. It is an E6 as that one not able to be handled by Mitchell.
The confidence it skyrockets at this point for the pitching staff for Shrewsbury. You have that padded lead. Now, all of a sudden, though, a little bit of an error. Base runner on, lead off on. Now things are a little bit more tense, but you still have a nice cushion.
Back to the top of the order, Jake Richard, the Walton pick attempt. Not in time, since Oquendo diving back. Oquendo certainly has the legs to do it. Jake Richard was a late add to this Post 151 roster. Wasn't there on opening day. Here's his first pitch of his second at-bat. A breaking ball drifts high, and the count is 1-0. He grounded out to second base back in his first at-bat in the first.
It's okay to be a late ad.
Yeah, I mean, you see kids come and go over the course of the summer baseball.
1-0 called. Strike on the outer half.
Need a little time off once in a while. You know, come right out of that high school season. Might want to reset. Coming off an injury or two.
Here comes the 1-1. Breaking ball lifted up into the screen. And another 1-2 count for Richard with Oquendo down at first. Those of you joining us for the first time here on RFM, great to have you along with us tonight. As we say with our baseball broadcasts, it is an award-winning radio broadcast with pictures as the situation goes. Breaking ball down, dug out of the dirt by McManus, feints the throw to push Oquendo back. And it'll be a 2-2 count to Richard at the plate. Just the 2 stationary cameras give you the best looks we can. Great looks here high above Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross tonight.
Yeah, Bill Thomas has not invented a pole tall enough to get to these heights on the regular.
That sounds like a challenge.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Never.
Ball misses outside, and it's a full count to Richard. Walton in the stretch. Oquendo breaks on the 3-2. Going with the pitch. It's a flare into right field.
Oh.
It will fall. Oquendo thought it is caught, and he is going to get taken out. 9-4
Wowzers.
for out number 1, and that is a mess for Post 151.
I'm not sure what Oquendo was looking at there, breaking on the pitch. I'm not sure if he looked over at coach or what made him think that ball was going to be caught, but turned around. Yeah, he could have had third, I think, but at least drawn a throw to third.
That's
Not
was
a timely
strange.
out right there.
That was a little strange.
9-4, also not the way you typically see it for out number 1.
And it
From
turns
Walton
in-
misses outside. Count 1-0 to Ashton Malzahn.
Fortunately, that turns into a fielder's choice.
I was
for
thinking the
Jake
same thing
Richard.
as I was writing this
boy,
down.
You're
Base
right.
hit.
Lose a base
From a
hit.
base hit to a
Loses
fielder's
hit,
choice.
Goes into a fielder's choice, and Not what he was hoping for.
This one popped up over our head and out of play.
So how many total hits do you have for Shrewsbury? Is it 5 or 6 now?
For Shrewsbury, I have 6.
I mean, pardon me, for 151.
For 151, 2.
So it's, yeah, okay. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, that was a fielder's choice for Jake Richards.
That's terrible.
I'd give him nightmares if he was looking for something.
Reaches for this one, does Malzahn. Popped it up into foul territory, and that'll make the second row in the seating bowl.
Souvenir.
Count 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Oh, it's starting to get a nice breeze.
As I say, getting a little breeze in here, lifting the humidity, which is at about 1,000, it seems like,
it's
here
humid.
in Central Mass right now.
Humidity and the temperature are battling for a
humid.
Can
for
certainly
supremacy.
ring us out on this one. The 1-2 flared back to the backstop foul. We'll try a third 1-2 pitch for Malzahn. Malzahn battling Ryan Walton. Got a great note on him from the coaching staff. He was the key pitcher on last year's World Series semifinalist team. Now playing as a freshman here on 397 from Endicott. This one hit on the ground by Malzahn. Set up for a double play. Second for one to first for the other. Cut down, double play. Ends the inning and the threat. An ugly offensive inning for 151 ends with a bang of defense from 397 around the horn for a 5-4-3 double play to end the inning through 2.5. It's Shrewsbury 4 and Leominster 1. A break and we're back with more. It's American Legion Baseball right here on RFM. To the bottom of the third we go. Baez back on the mound, and it's a first pitch chop foul for Brady Collins, who resumes the position at bat as the pickoff ended the previous inning. Coughlin walked and was stranded back in the first, getting what it amounts to his third look at Baez. 0-1 missed. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Kate, this is one of those situations.
What'd you do with Billy?
1 inning at a time.
Yes, 1 inning at a time, and I think that's where obviously the leash will be with Baez. He is back, but I think the leash, the longer this goes, the shorter the leash will get.
2-1 the count to Collins at the plate. Baez the full windup, throwing to Mariani. The pitch. Chopped foul in the count 2-2. Kate, based on obviously what you saw, the huge offensive inning from post 397 last inning from Shrewsbury, then leading into what was just an offensive mess for Leominster in the top of the third, what's the mindset got to be like on the Leominster side right now?
Right now I'm wondering if it's focus, to be perfectly candid with you. One of the things about summer ball, especially if it's not necessarily tournament play, if you're playing one-off games, concentration can get a little tricky.
3-2 pitch, waved at and missed for out number 1, and Baez retires Collins.
Baez needs himself a quick inning here too, Todd. K, 2 20-plus pitch innings, and he needs to have a quick one right here, or else he's going to be on a short leash the rest of the way. Could be his last inning if he doesn't have a 10 pitch or less inning, I'm guessing.
Coughlin was retired on the ground ball to short, and he comes to the plate and sees a first pitch strike. Count is 0-1.
From this angle, it's been fun to watch the break on Baez's curveball.
Coughlin's 0-1 seen missed, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike from Baez to Coughlin. Coughlin was Shrewsbury's third baseman this year on the high school level, and it's his first year playing Legion. This one chopped on the ground wide of third base, and past third base coach Frank Vaccaro. Nice hustle by Tony Savatelli. Yeah, he let Savatelli have a crack at it in foul territory. Coughlin, by the way, great hockey player, and he was the captain of the Shrewsbury baseball team. He's already been voted the captain for next year as well. And Kate, of course, Shrewsbury High School, that captaincy, such a big award. This one, the 1-1, hit on the ground. Aquendo up with it across the diamond for the out. 6-3 will be the put out for out number 2. And Kate, I'll give you a crack at that as a former coach at Shrewsbury. Awarding that captaincy, yeah, of course, it seems like, yeah, captaincy is a big deal, but in particular at Shrewsbury, it is a very big program.
It's a very big deal, and one of the nice things is that the athletic director, Jay Costa, does a really nice job. Essentially, it becomes his leadership group, his primary leadership group amongst all of the various seasons, fall, winter, and spring. So captains have to be awarded in the season beforehand because it is such a big deal throughout the entirety of the season.
And to expand that, Kate, captain has been so important in organizing, off-field or unofficial activities or getting the rest of the team together, and sometimes the coaches can't be involved.
Jumping on the 2-0, it's McManus, sends it into center field. It falls in for a single. And it's another 2-out base runner for post 397.
And just to wrap up that thought, not only that, now that you're kind of in this modern era of high school athletics here in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, there are also conferences that the student athletes are able to go to. Places like Gillette Stadium throughout the year. So it's not just, you're the captain, you pick up this equipment, you do this, you do that. It's a far bigger deal. And at Shrewsbury, Athletic Director Costa does a very nice job of making sure that it's a well-rounded program and it is a true leadership program. And those are his leaders across the school throughout the entire school year.
Pickoff attempt, not going to be able to retire McManus, who's on with the 2-out single. Deegan Miller at the plate. Miller reached on an error, became a run, scored back in the second. He's got a 1-0 count in the pitch. Called strike, count level, 1 ball and 1 strike. Miller was on last year's World Series team for this Shrewsbury team, and he's on his way to Army in September.
As in the United States Military Academy? Or the Army? Army.
It says Army. So we'll go with that. Actually, I'm going to go a little further. The Army. Either way, thank him in advance for his service.
Right. You took the words
but
right out of my
misses
mouth.
Inside.
Anybody who's got a military designation next to their name,
We just get to thank him for his service even earlier.
Thank you for our service, future, past, or present.
That's right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And, of course, here at Legion Baseball, never miss the chance to point out somebody going into the armed services. Pickoff attempt, not in time, but a check nonetheless. And McManus is back in there. Miller on his way to the Army. He is a multi-position player, as is evidenced by tonight. He's doing it with the stick, and this one from Baez's hand all the way to the screen, and that will allow McManus to trot down to second on the wild pitch. And right now, disarray reigns supreme on the Leominster side. 2 balls and 2 strikes becomes 3 balls and 2 strikes on the wild pitch. And it's a 3-2 count as Baez looks in at Miller. Now McManus looks on from second. The payoff pitch, hit on the ground. Savatelli knocks it down in the 5-6 hole, but not able to field and come across the diamond. And the quicksand continues to suck post 151 down into the hole. 397 continues to capitalize, and a timeout on the field. Here comes head coach Jeff Didion to talk to his team. And Kate, the question becomes, how do you get out of the quicksand?
I mean, this is, again, one of those situations where, you can be here and you think you're here both physically and mentally, but sometimes you're just not. One of the nice parts about the collegiate season and the high school season is that rhythm and that predictability. And a lot of times today, like if you were working earlier today, if you were at the beach earlier today, if you came back from vacation yesterday, that rhythm is non-existent in the summer unless, like I said, you're going into a tournament and you can hit the ground running and you're playing multiple games back to back to back. That is not the case in the summer, and so this becomes the ultimate in needing to find concentration when you get between the lines. And sometimes you think you have it, and sometimes you just don't.
Baez, after the conversation, comes with a first pitch strike to Drew Paris. Singled and a run scored back in the second. Runners on first and second. The breaking ball bends but doesn't catch the corner. Count 1 ball and 1 strike.
Have to see if Baez can work around this error. Third out of the inning possibly right there that Savatelli wasn't able to handle.
1-1 breaking ball popped up, and that's into the seats. 1-2 the count to Paris. Paris was a member of the Shrewsbury High School team this year, his first year playing Legion ball for 397. Also himself a talented hockey player at Shrewsbury. And per the coaching staff, he is the recorded fastest player on the team since a player by the name of Adam Twitchell some years ago.
That's quite the stat.
Breaking ball behind the back, scraped the 1-4, and it's a hit batsman to load the bases with 2 outs here. Another inning where Leominster recorded the first 2 outs and now have allowed the bases loaded.
You think one more batter, Bill Thomas?
Yeah, I'm guessing because one more hit here is going to break this game wide open. And, Angel went from having a quick inning to throwing a lot of extra pitches here, back up around 20 again.
Still 2 outs. He can get out of it.
Back to the top of the order, 2 groundouts for Benestat as he comes to the plate for his third at-bat and sees a pitch down, count 1-0.
Either of you lovelies see anybody warming up anywhere?
Screened
the
on the first base bullpen.
Far down in the
corner toward the tent there.
Yeah, be behind that tent down there, Kate. You can't see it.
Well,
1-0 pitch.
what good are either of you?
Missed inside, and the count goes to 2-0.
So we have questions and no answers from you people.
Benestat was an all-conference, all-Catholic conference player at St. John's this year. He can catch and play all 3 outfield positions. He'll be playing as a Gull next year. He's on his way to Endicott.
The CCC.
And this is his first year on the Legion as well.
My beloved CCC.
Commonwealth Coast Conference, correct?
Yes.
Here's the 2-1. Popped up towards center field, drifting back. It's Marshall. He will drift and drift some more to right center field deep and make the catch to end the inning and the threat. 3 complete here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. It's Shrewsbury 4 and Leominster 1. And you know, that part in particular, you want to talk about how things have been going. 3 more runners stranded in that inning for post 397 of Shrewsbury. And yet they have a 4-1 lead through 3. Break, and we're back with more American Legion Baseball, streaming right here on RFM. 3-4-5 in this inning for Leominster. And Ryan Walton back on the hill. Starts Cam Marshall off with a ball as we start here in the top of the 4th inning. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Walton quickly with the full delivery. Chin music on Marshall, and the count is 2-0. Bill Thomas, you were out in the seating bowl. What did you see?
Answer Kate's question from the prior inning. I do not see any action down in the Leominster bullpen, so I'm guessing Angels coming out for the bottom of the 4th.
That's precarious.
Count 3-0 for Marshall.
How tall is Marshall again?
Very. 6'2", 175. 3-0 pitch called a strike, and the count is 3-1.
But let's put him next to Rupp, and he looks rather small because I think Rupp measures about 6'8".
Indeed he does, and it plays at 6'8" at the very
does.
least. Here's the 3-1, chopped back to the screen, and the count full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I want to get this last note in because I got interrupted talking about Walton last inning on an out. Mentioned he was the key pitcher on last year's World Series semifinalist team, playing at a freshman. He is a gull at Endicott. And according to the coaching staff, he is a great lifeguard and should have been on Baywatch. This one, check, swing, foul, and the count will stay. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got to give the love, by the way, to Coach Matt Emder of Post 397 of Shrewsbury with these great production notes as the 3-2 misses, and it's a leadoff walk for Cam Marshall and Leominster.
Well, what he knows now is that's the type of stuff you eat right now with a spoon.
If coaches watch anything that we do, they should know more is always better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but
Never miss an opportunity.
Fun things like that.
Fun facts, absolutely.
Yeah.
Did you know Babe Ruth played here back in the 30s? I mean, you want to talk about fun facts.
We haven't even gotten to the fun facts of Fitton
That's
Field.
just one of about 20 that, Todd, you haven't even touched on yet.
Called strike on the outside corner
You
to
have a
Tom
list of fun
Rupp,
facts?
and the count is 0-1.
You'd be surprised the list we got, Kate.
Single and an RBI for Rupp back in the
What do
first.
you people do in your spare
We thank
time?
the great folks at the Bravehearts website. Check swing here. This one recorded as a strike, and the count is 0-2 to Rupp. To Bill Thomas's point just a moment ago, 1935. Babe Ruth played baseball right here on Fitton Field. An exhibition against the College of the Holy Cross for the Boston Braves. He was inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame 1 year later in 1936.
George Washington slept here in 1770.
I was going to say, says the history major as well. There is a great bronze sides over at the folks at CGS, not a sponsor, over at their facility there in right on Main Street here in Worcester.
Yes, for where George Washington.
For where George Washington, in fact, did
That's
stop somewhere along the
yeah.
way. A 1-2 pitch coming to Rupp. Rupp takes this one with a lifted line drive into shallow left center, around second, and scrambling to third, stretching that one. On the play was Marshall, who is not afraid to take the extra base. He'll move himself into scoring position, and right behind him is Rupp, who has a single and moves up to second on the throw.
Yeah, not a good play right there by the center fielder. Not really a good chance to get him down, but missed the cutoff man. Rupp, not big kid, but not all that fast. Lanky, like a giraffe running out there. But took second base easily. 2 runners in scoring position with no outs. Great opportunity here for Leominster to climb back into this ball game.
And Coach Frank Vaccaro out of the dugout to talk to his Shrewsbury team, which gives us more time.
Oh, he's animated.
To talk about Fitton Field. Seating capacity here at Fitton Field
8
has
million.
built 3,000 potentially. Not quite challenging the record tonight, but 3,000 seats are here in the facility.
3,000 perfectly positioned with great lines
phenomenal
of sight.
view. This is a great
Seats.
place to
There
come
is
see a ball game.
Not a bad seat in the house.
Built in 1905 is Fitton Field, but then renovated and upgraded in 2005 to host the Worcester Tornadoes, formerly an independent baseball team and the predecessor to the Worcester Bravehearts, who now play their FCBL games out of this phenomenal ballpark, in addition to, of course, the games in the Patriot League for the College of the Holy Cross during the season. After the animated discussion, Walton continues with 2 on. This one lifted up into the seats out of play, and Mariani's got an 0-1 count, struck out swinging back in the first. Bill Thomas will finish the wraparound here on the history of Hall of Famers who played here at Fitton Field. Coming up, here's the 0-1. Breaking ball missed the outside. Count 1 ball and 1 strike to Mariani. 1922, Lou Gehrig played here as a sophomore for Columbia University.
Samuel Prescott was here with William Dawes while on the midnight ride as well.
Did Bob Cousy play baseball? They set
One
a
ball
basketball
and 2
court
strikes.
on the field.
The Redcoats are coming. The Redcoats are coming.
All right, we've got more.
A lot of history here, though. It keeps on coming.
Get to the local connection. Here's the 1-2. Ball down, dug out by McManus.
I thought I had a lot of local.
And the count levels at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Easy there.
April 19th was their first shots fired of the revolution here. April 19th, 1770.
That was Lexington and Concord. Ease
That
off.
was about 30 miles to the east,
That's
but
right.
not bad.
Mariani looks out at Walton in the stretch. The 2-2 pitch.
Boston Massacre.
Missed the outside. 3-2. Also east of here. 1939, Ted Williams hit his first home run as a member of the Boston Red Sox in an exhibition game against the College of the Holy Cross right here at Fitton Field on this site. The 3-2 pitch, and Mariani jacks this one up. It's got a shot at 290. Nope, that's in the intersection down at the traffic lights. 3-2. The count continues for Mariani.
We're never going to be welcome back here. They're going to shut the door.
The 3-2 pitch. Mariani fouls this one.
back.
Again, we'll try another.
It's probably just me.
3-2 pitch.
Her. She's not allowed back.
Coach, the folks here at the Worcester Bravehearts love having fun. That's why it's a great night here at the ballpark. Promotions going on between innings, hosting these two great Legion rivals. 3-2, breaking ball, chopped on the ground by Mariani. The backhand stab by Coughlin is in play. Cross the diamond for the first out. Developing situation at the plate, a barrel roll, and it is a double play. Coach Jeff Dedian is apoplectic coming out of the third base coaching box to talk to the plate umpire. I think he's got a potential obstruction question down there at third base, but it wasn't called at the time. Will the third base umpire have a discussion here? Just the two umpires in the field. So it's field ump and plate ump. Will they come together to come up with an obstruction call? No, they will not. It's an out at home.
Because his primary responsibility was the out at
Trailing
first,
runner,
so
yeah.
he's not going to be able to see with his back. So it's going to have to be the home plate umpire's call all the way because of that primary responsibility across the diamond. So he's not going to get any help. So Coach Dedian, none too pleased with that.
And I don't think Marshall wasn't breaking on the play either. He didn't get tangled up with the third baseman. Yeah, he might have been there, after the throw. We carried him down in that area. But, yeah, the delayed, I think, break, not enough entanglement there, and no argument.
This one hit on the ground. There is a developing situation. We've got contact here, and it's going to be an interference call for the collision to end the inning.
Yep.
Another mess of an offensive inning that develops out of what looks like a really great start for Post 151, and it unravels in that situation. Through 3.5 here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. It's Shrewsbury 4 and Leominster 1. A break and we're back with more. It's American Legion Baseball, and it's streaming right here on RFM. Mid-top of the order, lead things off here for Post 397 of Shrewsbury in the bottom half of the fourth. Angel Baez continues on the mound for Leominster, and it's a first pitch strike as the count goes 0-1 to Jimmy Railsback, the second baseman batting leadoff here. Railsback, Mitchell Cove due up in the inning 2, 3, and 4. And the count levels at 1 ball and 1 strike. Kate, as we were heading to break, you were talking about the frustration that is felt right now on the Leominster side of things. And that you go from you didn't get the obstruction call, now you get nailed for interference.
Right.
Call legitimate, by the way. He did run over the third baseman, take away his ability to make the play. But, of course, you didn't get the obstruction call a play earlier. You feel frustrated doubly in that process.
Right. It's not going to help your case if the play being made, all eyes are right there defensively. There's nothing else going on. It's not as if there's something going on one side of the field and something else is happening on the other. So walk by Baez to lead things off, not good. His control he's struggling right now.
5-pitch walk for Baez to open up the bottom of the fourth inning, chasing a 4-1 lead, and Shrewsbury looking to just add to their total. Jimmy Mitchell, the shortstop, comes to the plate. He's had a great day at the plate. Single and stranded in the first. Double, an RBI, and a run scored in the second.
Ooh, that was a little dicey going back to the
Indeed
pitcher.
it was. Mariani's throw back to Baez. Counts 0-1.
Don't make him work that hard.
Baez sneaks a peek at Railsback, and now comes set. Pickoff attempt. Tag is not in time. Still an 0-1 count on Mitchell at the plate. Baez heading into his senior season at Leominster, and it's an 0-1 swing deep toward left center field. It's down and rolls through the warning track to the wall. It's at least a double with a runner rounding third, heading into home and scoring. And sticking firm is Mitchell, playing with house money. He's got himself a stand-up double and an RBI.
No movement from the Leominster coaches. Baez staying in there.
Railsback scores from first base on the RBI double.
We got action down there now. 19. Is that Ryan Garner? I think the
that
lefty.
lefty. It's
Yeah,
Ryan.
just started warming up. See, they try to give him some little extra time here.
Brings Teddy Cove, the first baseman, to the plate. Called strike on this one on the outer half, and the count is 0-1. Pair of singles for Cove in his 2 at-bats. Got himself an RBI on the second one as well. Baez from the stretch sneaks a peek at Mitchell at second in the pitch. Breaking ball drifts out. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Baez on his way into his senior season at Leominster High School. Just finished his junior year. Has not decided on a future. Undecided on his plans at this point. Keeping his options open. Here's the 1-1. Strike on the outer half. And the count is 1 ball and 2 strikes. So Katie's looked at as this experienced veteran, but he's still young and developing at the same time.
Well, it's because he's had so much varsity experience. We talked about it in the spring season. We've known him for years, and usually you don't know an ace of a pitching staff for years. And we saw him come in tough playoff situations, even as a freshman.
Well, in 2021, Kate, in that playoff run, you're right.
Yep.
That's made the team as a freshman and really made his mark.
Yeah, and it was, did tremendous work in relief.
Yeah, coming out of the bullpen, he was the closer then, and he was the shutdown guy even as a freshman.
Gets his 3rd K of the day. I want to pick up that point, Bill Thomas, if we don't mind deviating a little bit. I personally think that's Baez's strength. I think Baez's strength is coming in relief to close down ball games. I feel like that's his future, just based on the weapons that he has available and the type of player that he is. This one, first pitch, hit on the ground. That is foul outside of a diving Tony Savatelli back at third base behind the bag. And the count is 0-1 on Brady Collins.
Well, and that's one of the interesting things, because you need to, both at the Legion and in high school, you have to develop a staff. And so Baez, because he's a power pitcher, most of the time you're like, okay, that's perfect for closer. You bring in the power pitcher for closer or late relief. And it becomes a situation where he's become their starter.
0-1 pitch deep toward left field and out of here. Didn't make the highway, but it sure did make the parking lot. It's a 2-run home run for the left fielder, Brady Collins.
That ball never stopped carrying over the Anna Maria College, about 260 out there based on the stats, and that ball was a poke.
A 3-run inning and a 2-run home run breaks this one wide open, and the piñata's pouring candy on the floor.
I think I said 260, 360 is what I meant to say. It's about 360 out there. You're right, Todd. Didn't quite make, might have made the on-ramp there, but didn't make the major highway.
Ryan Garner coming in, 13 going out to warm up for 151.
So change the game plan here a little bit, and of course that is Henry Brunn, who we've seen in relief before, a Fitchburg High School product. This one fisted on the ground by Coughlin. Aquendo up with it and across the diamond for the outs.
Nice defensive effort, nice range by Aquendo. He makes that look so beautiful and smooth when he's able to range to his left like that. I love coming in, being aggressive, charging that ball, and get a nice snap throw over to first base. Not even close.
He's
Nice.
retired Collins in all, Coughlin in all 3 of his at-bats today. 6 unassisted in the first, and then 6 threes in the third and fourth now.
That becomes frustrating in and of itself if you're hitting the ball in the same place. You're happy you're making contact. You're happy you're making contact to to the left side of the field, but still a problem when you get frustrated by that easy.
Baez is 1-1 and gets a close shave there on that one. Hot back up the middle of the field.
Hot's an understatement there, just able to duck out of the way.
A 2-out single with 3 runs already in the inning, and it is a 7-1 Shrewsbury lead.
Angel just doesn't look comfortable. He's clearly laboring, and he just doesn't look comfortable.
Well, he hasn't had an easy inning to speak
Not
of,
a
Kate.
single one.
Even though a couple innings started out halfway decent, I got him for 22, 20, and 23 pitches. The 3 innings, over 60, 65 pitches. And struggling with about another 20 here.
Pick off attempt,
Got it
back
again.
pocket, and it's another pick. McManus is absolutely stunned. That is a great snap throw, but maybe an even better tag by Jake Richard, who makes the stab and places the tag on the pocket for the second pickoff of the day, and the second time an inning ends on an Angel Baez pickoff. But the damage already done. 3 runs in the inning. The highlight, the 2-run homer by Brady Collins, and it's 7-1 Shrewsbury over Leominster through 4 here at Fitton Field. A break and we're back with more, streaming right here, American Legion Baseball on RFM. Seven, 8, 9 once again for post 151, and Tony Savatelli bats leadoff for Leominster, grounded out to short. First pitch swinging, he is in the hole 0-1 as we start the top of the 5th. Make that 0-2, and Kate just add another uncomfortable looking player in Savatelli, whose swings look totally defensive at this point.
Yeah, right now Shrewsbury has the batters guessing.
0-2 breaking ball, cue shot. Coughlin breaks down. Fields throws 5-3 the put out, and a nice play by Cove at first.
Very nice play by Cove. You kind of have that lump in your throat as you're seeing a first baseman kind of lean in that direction because they're leaning toward that batter running coming straight at them. So you're worrying about contact, but did a nice job to keep his body out of the way, go over and get that ball and get the out.
Dan Wright comes to the plate. Wright first pitch swinging. Puts a charge in this one. Diving effort and a huge catch made by James Bendestat. Full layout in center field.
He was lovely. I met him today. He was very nice to me. I asked him, hey, are you playing center field? I don't know.
And
I
defensively
think so.
incredibly talented.
Incredible. Nice young man. Most people just look at me and go, who are you and what do you want?
No. Hey, he was an all-conference player for St. John's of Shrewsbury. Gonna be a Gull next year at Endicott. Aquendo.
Beautiful campus.
This is a first pitch
cold
strike.
and windy. Cold and windy.
Well, and somebody put the softball field right next to the water, if
The
I'm not
ocean.
mistaken.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
We used to get the big football parkas and heaters. We would have to bring heaters with us. in the
Walton
spring.
snaps off a breaking ball that misses. Count 1 ball and 1 strike. Is the baseball field on the same complex?
I don't believe it is.
Okay. So at least we know who got the inland seat. Aquendo, the 1-1 ground ball. Up with it, Coughlin. Cross the dime in the putout. And Orderly, 3 up and 3 down for Shrewsbury in that inning, retires all 3 Leominster batters that come to the plate. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. 4.5 in the books here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. It's Shrewsbury 7 and Leominster 1 to the bottom of the 5th as we continue. 8-9 top for Post 397. Break and more to come. American Legion Baseball streaming here on RFM. To the bottom of the 5th we go here on RFM. The rivalry of 190 tonight here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field on the campus of the College of the Holy Cross in Worcester. Pitching change for Leominster Post 151. Henry Brunn will take over on the mound. Brunn, a recent graduate of Fitchburg High School, on his way to Durham, New Hampshire, University of New Hampshire. He's going to study communications. That ball drifts high, 1 ball and 1 strike. You can close the book on Baez. It's 8-9 top as Deegan Miller leads things off in this inning. for post 397. Takes the 1-1, popped it, and it will fall in on a little miscommunication as Marshall, the center fielder, zigs when he should have zagged to give way to Malzahn, who zigged when he should have zagged, and the ball falls in, and it's a defensive indifference single for Miller.
We're going to give him a single, I guess. Nobody
touched the ball.
Nobody touched the ball. Just misplayed out there in the outfield, unfortunately.
As they say, sometimes when it rains, it pours. Drew Paris to the plate, singled and a run scored, hit by a pitch and stranded in the third. Hits this one on the ground. Aquendo up with it. Tailor-made double play. Got the first at second and wraps it up at first. 6-4-3, the double play, 2 away.
That takes care of that misplay. Cleans up that mess.
Indeed it does. Sometimes things do work out. And early on in this ball game, that's what Leominster got. Problem is that the runs just got away. The game opened up offensively for Shrewsbury with the right hits at the right time.
But having to rely on those types of plays is not going to be putting yourself in no position. It's going to afford you a lot of wins.
Count is 1-0. Make it 2-0.
It's the nicest breeze all night. More of this, please.
Kate's ordering more of the
Todd, just fan
inland sea breeze. 2 balls and no strikes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. The lefty Brunn brings that fastball, and the count is 2-1. Benestat, who played a phenomenal center field last inning, struggled tonight. Ground ball out in the first and second, flew out to center back in the third, but he has batted in 3, make it now 4 of the first 5 innings. He'll lift this 2-1 into foul territory. Richard drifts over and will make the play in shallow right field foul to end the inning. 3 up and 3 down. Brunn settles things down on the defensive side of the ledger for post 151. 3 up and 3 down in the inning. It's no runs on 1 hit, no errors, strand none, as there was a cut down on the double play. Closing that book on Baez, by the way, Baez in his 4 innings pitched for Leominster allowed 11 hits, 7 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts. Tough line for Angel Baez in this one in the big ballpark. 5 complete. Here in Worcester tonight, we head to the top of the 6th. The score, Shrewsbury 7 and Leominster 1. More to come. American Legion Baseball, right here on RFM. Top of the 6th inning here on RFM. Ryan Walton continues on the hill for Shrewsbury. Jake Richard leads off. It's 1-2-3, due up in the inning for Leominster. Misses on the first 2 here in the top of the 6th to Richard. The count is 2. And Richard grounded out to second base back in the first, reached on a fielder's choice, and was then retired on a play in the third.
Walton's gone into cruise control here. 1 over the minimum the last 4 innings. Helped out by a couple double plays mixed in there. Some good defense behind him, but he's been on cruise control.
3-1 goes the count. Walton's 3-1 offering to Richard. Inside out, that one into the fencing, protecting the seating bowl. And we'll try a 3-2 pitch now coming to Richard in a matter of moments. Kate, you're looking ahead here a little bit. 7-1 the score here. Shrewsbury on top of Leominster here in the top of the 6th inning. And a timeout taken on the field. Kate, you're looking ahead at the schedule coming up here. And Leominster has got a busy week. This is the first of back-to-back days as Richard draws a 7-pitch walk to lead off here in the top of the 6th. So they're here at Shrewsbury tonight. Tomorrow night, they host Hudson in a game that will determine first place in their division, because Hudson and Leominster right now are tied with 8-2 records in the A division of Zone 4. So that game's tomorrow night. Then they come back to Fitton Field here in Worcester on Saturday at Eastside, as this one's chopped foul by Malzahn. He's in the hole 0-1. Then they host North County on Sunday at McLaughlin Park in a game you can hear right here and see right here on RFM. And then it's Monday, July 10th at Northbridge and Tuesday, July 11th at Sturbridge. Try 6 games in 6 days for Leominster to end this season.
That would be why Angel Baez had such a long leash.
Yeah, and you wonder why teams tend to chew through players and injuries crop up. And I tell you, 6-6 is a tough way to go.
Strike on the outer half, and the count is 0-2 to Malzahn. Struck out swinging back in the first, grounded out on a double play in the third.
I think MLB has rules against playing that many games in a row these days.
0-2 breaking ball. That one caught the bat, foul tip, and took the mask off McManus. They'll buy him a second before another 0-2 pitch to Malzahn. And Bill Thomas, to your point, I mean, you had made that point all the way back on opening day. It's 33 games in 20-some days in this Legion schedule. And granted, a long playoff format as well. 10 teams will make it into the Zone 4 playoffs. They will have play-in games for the bottom couple of spots, and then it's double elimination with the top 8 teams, and that's just in the zone.
Yeah, busy schedule, but you got to have a love of baseball if you dedicate your summer to this, and that's why these kids are out here. Next level baseball, getting ready for college, and hopefully somebody will see them if they don't have plans.
Malzahn chases on this one. He's the first out of the inning. So it's 1 on with 1 out. Richard after the walk down at first. Cam Marshall comes to the plate. Double and a run scored back in the first. The lone run for Leominster in this one. Then walked and cut down on a play at home was Marshall. A controversial one in that. The pickoff attempt not in time as Walton wants on the pick sheet tonight, chasing Baez, who's got 2 pickoffs.
Not quite the same move Angel has over the first, but he's been doing a great job when he comes to the plate all night.
Call that a top shelf strike as McManus was stepping out of the crouch. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike to Marshall.
Little commentary from Todd on that one.
1-1 breaking ball. That one 58 feet. It's dug out by McManus. Up with a throw. Nice backup made there by Mitchell, the shortstop, in the crossing pattern as Railsbeck trying to play it in front of the bag, and it short hopped him. Richard will advance down to second. 2-1 the count. Pitch a ball at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Richard down at second base. 2-1, down and away, and it becomes 3-1.
Leominster running out of outs here, top of the 6th. Couple outs to play with here. Got to get the base runners moving, get the lineup.
Richard leads away as Mitchell dances in behind him. The 3-1, a hard breaking ball down and away from Marshall for ball 4, and Leominster's got runners on first and second with 1 out here in the 6th.
Nice job, and you got the heat of the meat of the lineup coming up here. Rupp, Mariani.
We had a conversation.
Now here comes Coach Vaccaro once again to talk to his team.
Well, they got double barrel action down there in the Shrewsbury.
Will this end the day for Walton, or are they going to buy a little more time for that bullpen?
Lefty and righty action both down there.
Shrewsbury, by the way, they've got a similar schedule ahead, and they've got a couple of double headers mixed in over the next few days. They've got 9 games between tonight and next Wednesday, July 12th. Back to back to back to back to back to back to back. Hosting Leominster tonight at Sturbridge tomorrow. Doubleheader between Northbridge and Post 397 on Saturday here at Fitton Field. Then you go host Eastside over at Memorial Field on Sunday, July 9th. At Milford on the 10th, doubleheader against Framingham and Cherry Valley here on July 11th, and then at Cherry Valley on the 12th to conclude the season.
Trivia, where is Cherry Valley? Because I know.
Charlton.
No.
Close.
Very close. Come on, Todd. What's your guess?
Cherry Valley here in Massachusetts. I'm sure I should know this.
I'll give you a hint.
Breaking ball
You ready
for a
for the
strike
hints?
to Rupp at the plate. Counts 0-1.
They send some of their students to Assabet Valley Regional Technical
Do
High
they
School.
really?
They do. You're very close by here in Worcester.
Does it begin with a vowel?
Is it the Leicester
It
area?
begins. It is Leicester.
It
Well
is
done.
Leicester. I was going to go with maybe Oxford. Leicester, really?
Yep.
One ball and
I've
one strike to Rupp.
I've had to send National Honor Society probation letters to Cherry Valley.
I know nothing of that. 1-1 is down. 2 balls and a strike. Those were the days.
Those were the days.
Rupp, 6'7", 250 pounds.
Plays with every bit of that size, too. Very imposing figure up there.
2-1 missed, and the count.
We saw him hit a ball about 400 feet a couple weeks ago at their home field in Leominster.
2 balls and 2 strikes is what is recorded as the count. I would have had it for 3-1, but no sign from the umpire, so they're going to go with the scoreboard. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Now a timeout taken.
I think they're asking, too, trying to straighten it out.
Rupp steps out, resets. No,
2 and
they
2.
show 2 balls, 2
Yeah,
strikes.
2 and 2.
To Rupp. Got a pair of singles on the day. RBI single back in the first for Leominster's lone run. Was retired after his single in the fourth on an interference call. 2-2 misses down and away.
3-2.
And no, and it's
It was 3-2
ball
before.
4. Yeah, so I wasn't
had the
far
two
off
strikes.
I
there.
had 3-2 on the.
Yeah, there was
Yeah, you had it.
And then I changed it back.
because that's what
Well, we
it
saw
looked
the
like.
umpire hold up the 2, but we didn't see him hold up the 3 on the other side. We're going to have a pitching change.
And indeed, that's going to
Going for
do
the righty, I think. We'll have to see, though, when they came in. I thought I saw the righty arm go up.
for Walton. He walks the bases loaded, and that will conclude his day. Pitching change here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, home of the Worcester Bravehearts, hosting this Rivalry of 190 Legion Special here in their home park tonight. We'll introduce you to the relief pitcher when we continue streaming here. American Legion Baseball on RFM. Top of the sixth continues here on RFM. Todd Robbins, Bill Thomas, Kate Robbins, and you. Ryan Walton ends his day by walking the bases loaded. Now with a total of 4 walks on the day to go with his 4 strikeouts to conclude with 5 innings pitched. He allowed 3 hits. He is responsible for all the runners that are here on the bases should 151 be able to bring the runs in. Justin Mariani at the plate sees the first pitch from the reliever, David Escobar. A ball, and the count goes to 1-0. Escobar's first year playing for Shrewsbury's Post 397 team. He pitched for Shrewsbury High School this year, and he's on his way to Mass Maritime. Mariani lifts this one into left field. Collins trots forward, makes the catch. Richard with the tag, and the feint home will go back to third. And that's 2 away here in the top of the 6th.
Looked like Collins had trouble tracking that ball off the crack of the bat, but recovered in time to rush in and hold a runner at third base. Didn't want to test the arm, down 6 runs, can't blame him.
Brings Dylan Adamson to the plate. Adamson struck out swinging in the 2nd, reached and stranded on a fielder's choice in the 4th. Leominster with the bases loaded, 2 outs here, top of the 6th inning, sorely needing the runs. And Escobar misses upstairs, count is 1-0. Escobar in the stretch, kicks and delivers, misses down, count 2-0 to Adamson. Arm hanging here from Escobar, and now sends the 2-0. And this one, given a charge from Adamson into center field. Drifting over is Benestat, deep in center field, and makes the catch. For the 3rd out of the inning, Leominster made some noise, but they are not able to plate the runs. They strand the bases loaded in the 6th. 5.5 complete. Just the lone Leominster run back in the 1st to go against 7 Shrewsbury runs across the 2nd and 4th. Through 5.5 here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. It's Shrewsbury 7 and Leominster 1. Pitching change for post 151. You'll meet him when we continue American Legion Baseball right here on RFM. To the bottom of the 6th we go. Rivalry of 190, Shrewsbury and Leominster, American Legion Baseball right here on RFM, and hosted tonight by the Worcester Bravehearts here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field. Pitching change for Leominster Post 151. And it's Tristan Lance the Dance taking over from Lunenburg High School, recent graduate. Bridgewater State is his next stop, and he'll study computer science. Got a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the leadoff batter, Jimmy Railsback. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, a 7-1 Shrewsbury lead.
Coming back this way.
Pulls the string on that one. Count goes to
I saw Todd
1 and 2.
flinch.
No, not up this high. Felt very safe. At a great broadcast position here. The pitch. Ball misses outside.
I agree. Great broadcasting position here in the press
Beautiful.
box.
Do you see the sunset? How romantic
it's
that
just,
is?
Absolutely.
It's the closest to a date night we've had since August 6th of last year.
When Patrick joined the world, we have great nights with him. We haven't seen a lot of sunsets with an 11-month-old.
See, there you
but
go. There it is.
there you go. 11 months today. How about that?
Billy, go get me a
Good
soda.
job. What would you like?
I'm just kidding. I kid.
Let's celebrate.
I can't. Let's
How
celebrate.
about water?
How about water?
A 3-2 pitch misses to rails back. And he'll trot on down to first. Leadoff batter on here for post 397. 2-3-4 due up in the inning. Rails back Mitchell Cove due up for Shrewsbury.
I don't know if you mentioned you cleaned up Henry Brun's appearance, but the only shutdown inning, 1-2-3, the only 1-2-3 inning, Leominster was able to get off the field defensively, but he came in and did his job.
Clearly not well enough.
Ball
Tom.
misses
It's
down.
a-
See, now I have to
I saw
imagine,
him just- yeah.
is this a
But
case
maybe
of
too good, you know?
basically it was a bullpen
Yes.
day.
Yeah.
So now instead of guys throwing in their bullpen sessions, they're going to come into the game here and throw in game
get 'em
action,
in inning.
each throw an inning sort of thing, stretch things out.
Well, and what are the pitch count rules for Legion? Are there? I mean,
They're a little wider, a little more liberal inning-wise, but they're close to what
Okay.
these players are used to from a high school
so,
level.
I mean, every pitch that you're seeing then is
2-0, golfed on the ground. He says he hit it on the feet, but it looks like a tailor-made double play. Front end for one, and on to first for the other. And it is an awkward, nobody moved type situation. And here comes Coach Frank Ficcaro. And now the plate umpire is going to go to an official who is 90 feet away or more to try to find a foul ball that was directly in front of him. And they say,
I saw
after
nothing.
conversation, I saw nothing, and the double play will stand. 5,
again,
4, 3.
You have a one base umpire, so his primary responsibility is to take care of the front end of the double play first, and then the back end of the double play. He's already 3 things away from did the ball hit off of the batter's foot in the batter's box.
And Mitchell's got to learn to limp when he hits the ball off his foot. I think he didn't do a good enough job selling it either.
First pitch swinging, finds a little screen between the two, between Richard and Wright, and into right field. And it is a single to continue the inning. Another 2-out single, and more fun with 2 outs for Shrewsbury today.
C&I single right there.
Threads the eye of a needle to see that one, Bill Thomas. Brings Brady Collins to the plate.
Yeah, 2 Leominster players had shots at that. First baseman, second baseman. Neither one of them glove it, but 2 down. See if
that almost looked like
Leominster
it was
get off
going
the
in
field.
slow motion.
It did. And each
Everything about
bounce, 6 bounces, the 7th bounce under the first baseman's glove, the next bounce under the second baseman's glove.
Collins reaches for that one, fouls it off. He's in the hole 0-2. Collins walked and stranded in the first inning, struck out swinging in the third, but the one he wants to talk about is in the fourth. It was a 2-run home run.
Did you ask him?
I have no doubt.
Oh.
And
Maybe
it
he was
made this
embarrassed
game
by
a
all the
7-1
attention.
game.
You don't
I
know.
doubt it. Here's the pitch, chopped on the ground. Savatelli backpedals and can't stab it out of the air. It's an E5 and the inning continues.
You know, I think as soon as Sabatelli stepped backwards instead of forwards, that was going to be a challenge to throw out Collins there to begin with, and looked up right at the last second, couldn't squeeze it.
Colby Coughlin comes to the plate. Coughlin, now this is an interesting matchup. We talked about this at the end of his last at-bat. He has grounded out to the shortstop in every at-bat today.
Don't jinx him.
So Alex Oquendo certainly got to be heads up here. And it's a first pitch ball from Dance. Count is 1-0. Runners on first and second. Cove at second. Collins on the error at first. And Coughlin at the plate and ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes after having grounded out to Alex Oquendo in his previous 3 at-bats. Dance from the stretch in the pitch. Breaking ball into the screen.
You flinched again.
And the count goes to 2-1. No, I did not, but I did have the thought to myself,
Camera.
a little higher,
Another inch.
a little higher from that guide wire, and we're going to find out how close those cameras are to exposed in our broadcast position. 2 balls and a strike. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball just missed the front shoulder. Count goes to 3-1.
Flinched. I saw it.
No,
Bill
I
Thomas,
didn't.
he flinched.
Should have taken it on the shoulder.
No, Todd. I was talking about
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the batter.
Bill Thomas will swear to whatever you say. Here's the 3-1.
Because he's been married
misses
before.
the outside, and it's a 2-out walk issued by Dance.
Bill Thomas has been married before. He knows the drill.
Twice.
I wasn't going to go there. You did.
I wasn't either,
I
but it was
wasn't gonna
running
go
through my
there.
head, and
Enjoyed
I'm like,
every minute
no,
of
I
it."
can't do it. I can't do that to the man.
It was great until it wasn't. That's all I'll say.
And there's a country western song if ever I've heard
It was great
one.
until
Great-
it wasn't.
Great
I
until
think
it
you're right,
wasn't.
Todd. I think that's a title. It was great. Back to
It's a
baseball.
flare into center field. 1 run is in, another one hot on its heels, and more 2-out scoring for Shrewsbury Post 397. Coach Frank Vaccaro's got some bones to pick with his team, but I'll tell you, it's not the 2-out run production
No.
tonight. It's been phenomenal.
No, I pretty much.
I believe all
the
9 runs have been scored with 2
yeah,
outs.
do some math, but most of the runs have been scored with
Well,
2-out
that's a
hits.
stat. Figure that one out. Bill Thomas, get
I
on
will.
that.
I will.
Don't let
Let
Todd
me get
do
up to
it.
date here. I don't want to fall behind in my book. It becomes messy.
Oh, you know.
Can't fall behind on your homework. Dan sends this one in and misses. Count
wear it.
is 1-0. Strike called on the outer half to Deegan Miller, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Oh, it's quite nice out now.
Indeed it is. Another steamy week ahead as this one inside out by Miller and into right field on the ground. Rounding third and scoring another. And a throw back down to second is thrown away, and here comes another run in. And that may be it. 10 runs after 5 innings. If anyone is ahead, is the mercy rule here in zone 4. And that is a mercy rule shortened victory for Post 397.
Glad I looked up that rule.
Indeed. So it's a 3-run 6th to complete this game and a win for Shrewsbury's Post 397. Final score 11-1.
Actually, a 4-run 6, Todd. 2 runs scored.
thank
there.
you, yes.
Put it over the top. Made it that 10-run lead. 4 runs there in that inning. Makes it 11-1. Creates that 10-run lead, and now all of a sudden the ball game is over. You asked me about 2-out runs. All the runs in the second inning, 2-out runs, and I wasn't finished doing the calculations in the 4th, but 2-out runs here in the 6th ends the ball game.
Tough way to end this one, but for a Leominster team that finds themselves in first place in their division, they'll fall to 12-5 overall, but they are still 8-2 in their division and tied for first place with the battle for first place in a game tomorrow night at home. So just getting out of Dodge and not having to waste more arms is actually advantageous. This mercy rule helps out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, one more out, and they weren't going to have to come out for the bottom of the 7th anyways, but they just all night tonight, they couldn't get that 3rd out of the inning, and it ended up costing them, a number of runs. But let's give Shrewsbury all the credit in the world
absolutely.
for digging in with 2 outs, putting the ball in play, spraying the ball over the park. That big home run, of course, right in the middle of it all. But great job by Shrewsbury, and they showed championship caliber baseball tonight.
Aside from stranding the bases loaded in the first, they scored run after run after run. A 4-run second inning, a scoreless third, but again, they stranded the bases loaded. 3 runs in the 4th and 4 more runs here in the 6th to wrap this one up. I mean, just an offensive flurry. And from my look here, just quickly, all but 2 of the runs were scored with 2 outs in their respective innings.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely
Staggering.
came up there swinging, Todd and Kate, and the key is to put the ball in play. You can't put the ball in play, you're not going to score runs. And they were probably frustrated, left the bases loaded in 2 of the innings, but Henry Brunn came in, the only shutdown inning for the Leominster pitching staff, but wasn't enough.
Indeed, it was not. A mercy-shortened win for Shrewsbury tonight. Post 397 improves their record to 9-7 overall. They're still 4-3 on the B side of the Zone 4 division map. But they got an 11-1 win with authority tonight over Leominster here on the Rivalry of 190 night here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field in Worcester, hosted by the Worcester Bravehearts of the future Collegiate Baseball League. We thank the Bravehearts so much for being a great host to these teams tonight, and this broadcast cannot say enough to the great staff here, led of course by their general manager Dave Peterson, and the great team here in Worcester, incredibly welcoming to RFM and as well as these two teams, and allowed us to put on this broadcast tonight in a phenomenal facility under great circumstances, and what was a huge post 397 11-1 victory. And Bill Thomas, you can see with that type of offense and the returning players that can produce that type of offense, how this team went to the World Series last year and got themselves into the Final Four and was edged just a little in their semifinal, and have been the representative from this region to the World Series 3 out of 6 years. They just keep reloading under Coach Frank Vaccaro.
Yeah, well, they definitely showed their veteran presence, and no panic falling behind early in the game, and their bats come to play, and 1 out, 2 outs, bases loaded, nobody on. They find a way to manufacture rallies and runs and get the runs around with 2 outs. You mentioned, Todd, the 2 big innings, the second and the sixth, all the runs were scored with 2 outs, and I think there was 1 out, in the other inning, and they just continue to put the ball in play time and time again, up and down the lineup, and it shows. It produces runs, and that's the result.
Not done with Legion baseball here on RFM. We're right back at it at McLaughlin Park on Sunday, July the 9th. Scheduled as a 2 o'clock first pitch in a battle of North Central Mass as North County from Gardner invades McLaughlin Park for a battle with Leominster Post 151. So it's Leominster and North County on Sunday, July the 9th, a 2 o'clock first pitch, streaming 15 minutes ahead of time right here on these same RFM platforms, YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. Want to thank Matt Amder of the Shrewsbury Legion team for the great notes and pregame homework he put together for the broadcast package for us. Coach Jeff Didion for his assistance on the Post 151 side of things, and Leominster Post 151 for being a tremendous partner in this summer of American Legion baseball right here on RFM, and we've got more to come. For Bill Thomas and Kate Robbins, I am Todd Robbins here on RFM, saying thank you so very much for joining us for this one here at Hanover Insurance Park at Fitton Field, where once again the final score, Shrewsbury 11 and Leominster 1. More American Legion baseball to come. Until Sunday, we say so long, everybody.